What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and just a few weeks ago, this happened. Woo!
Hallelujah.
Oh, and this.
Lord, in the name of Jesus. Woo!
And sprinkle on a little bit of this.
It really don't hurt too bad. Oh, I spoke too soon. That hurt.
I got the bright idea to sugar wax at home, y'all, and it was kind of fun. I mean, painful a little bit, but fun. Now, what I will say is it was very interesting to do, but the process taught me so much. And so many of you all reached out and asked me to talk more about what I thought about it, what were my updates, what have been my results, did I have any ingrowns, and if I would do it again. We're gonna talk about if my skin is still very smooth, if I experienced any irritation, and give you all the updates you've been asking for. And if you're interested in checking out the kit that I used at home, which was real simple, you can find it in my Amazon shop. It's by Sugaring NYC. Make sure that you're doing your research no matter what. Whatever goes on my body, I'm going to find out more about it, find out the ins and outs, the ingredients, no matter what, even if it's something that I'm making on my own. So this is no different. Make sure that you're patch testing your skin if you're going to do this at home. If you have an esthetician or someone you can at least talk to, ask them questions, ask them the brands they recommend. That's how you get the better things, even if you're going to do something at home. What works for me may not work for you, and it may not work for the next person. That's why our bodies are all different. They just all yield us different results. That's the beauty in them. But you have to be responsible for your health and the outcomes, and make sure that you're being very careful about what you choose to use. So first off, let me say that I really enjoyed this option because it was at home and it seemed very safe and cost effective. And while we're talking about cost effective and safe, and before we dive in, let me tell you another cool way that I'm saving my coins. It's Fetch. Fetch Rewards is a super easy to use free app, free 99, where you earn free rewards on literally anything you buy. Not only is it free, but it's super easy to use. And I'm happy to say that they're sponsoring today's video. Look, y'all, you can use any receipt or e-receipt, and you will earn points no matter where you shop or what you buy. I'm gonna scan my foods receipt where I buy a lot of beauty items as well as food items. You then redeem those points for hundreds of rewards, including Amazon and Visa gift cards. It's so fast. You can scan receipts, redeem points, and spend points all from your mobile device in a matter of seconds. It only takes a few seconds and you get your points. It's for any and all retail stores, all Amazon purchases, which I usually use it for, e-receipts, and even restaurants. So look, download the app now and use the code BEAUTIFUL to get 4,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's all in the description box for you. Thanks, Fetch. So now, y'all, the moment you've been waiting for, the comparison. What do my pits look like now about a month later? So I actually recorded that video about a month ago. So now after 4 weeks of growth, let me show you. This is what we're working with. Now, if I must say so myself, that's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good, y'all. The last video I did, I had only allowed my pits to grow. I hate to say pits. I had only allowed my underarms to grow for about 2 weeks or a little bit more, and it was a lot more stubble. That's because I normally do shave. And so this time, what I did learn about sugar waxing is your hair usually starts to, over time, grow in finer. I don't know how that kicked in so early for me, but I will say it's nice to see that my pits are still so very clear. They're so soft. Yes, there's some stubble, but it's not nearly as thick as it was even for just 2 weeks after shaving, like 2 to 3 weeks after shaving. This is a whole month, y'all. Like, I'm sold. I ain't looking forward to the home sugaring again, but I'll do it for this payoff. So according to my research, I probably won't be doing this for another 2 weeks. It recommends about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks of growth and at least 1/4 of an inch of hair. So I don't want to do it too early or damage my skin or anything like that. And I'm excited to try it again. I think I did a good job, especially for me to be doing it for the first time on camera. Y'all girls a G, you know what I'm saying? I did the waxing on camera on my own. Look at me. So I will say I'm impressed with the length of time that my underarms have stayed clear. Even more than that, I have not experienced any ingrowns or pain. That day after I waxed, I told you all that on camera, I felt a little bit like, ooh, like wow. But at the end, I never did have any aches, any pains, any rawness, any issues. And that's big coming from me because y'all know I have a history of hidradenitis suppurativa, and though I don't have flares much anymore, I still get nervous when trying anything new. And traditional waxing did not work for me. In the past, I've tried it, it just didn't. And this did. And I don't know if it's because of the composition of it. It includes the sugar and the lemon, and perhaps that causes a smoothing or soothing effect because it's more natural in its makeup. After a week of not having any ingrowns or having any other issues or discolorations, I was really happy with that. I think that's something to celebrate, okay? So what I liked about the process is it was pretty simple to do it on my own, especially with the kit. Now, I did go and buy some wax strips. So next time, maybe I'll give y'all a little bit of a showing of me trying it with actual wax strips instead of using the applicator. But I did like the ease of use of the applicator. I found it to be simplistic in getting the hair out. And because of the sturdiness of it and the makeup of it, it actually made it easier for me. Also, I like the fact that it didn't take long. Like I told you all, even me filming the process only took me about 45 minutes for both underarms together. I didn't have to keep warming it up. I warmed it up once for each underarm. 15 seconds. I did not go above that because I did do my research and it can burn your skin and you don't want to take off that top layer of skin. So I did like that it was simple and easy in that, and the kit that I had specifically was just so easy. And I also had the help of looking online, and I told you all I like Casey Aaliyah and I love the review that she did. And so using powder like she suggested really did make it easy, and I really like that as well. I also like afterwards the softness of my underarms. Y'all, my underarms feel baby soft and smooth, and not just according to me. I let fiance bae, you know, touch up under there, see what he thought, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a sexy part of the body like most people, not like, ooh, touch my underarms, but I let him touch them. And he was like, baby, I'm soft, okay? Okay. And also my personal trainer, she was interested in knowing because she was tired of doing shaving and other things underneath her arms, and she wanted to try something on her own, and she was motivated by my video, and I let her touch it and she was impressed. It made her go and get the kit. So I will say the softness and the smoothness, my skin didn't feel rough, it didn't feel irritated. I could put my arms down because when you're raw up under there, it don't feel good to put your arms down. I will tell you that. So I was really impressed with that. So overall, I had no issues. Now, I have not sugar waxed other parts of my body, so I don't know just yet. I do plan to experiment and play around and see what happens. But I know for under my arms, I was impressed with the softness, the smoothness, and also the continued softness and smoothness. 4 weeks later, I'm still pretty soft and smooth. So I'm able to go longer without doing any procedures with it. And I have not picked up a razor for underneath my arms since I did this. So that's boss. Now, what did I dislike? Well, I don't want to say that I disliked anything, but I will say it was pretty intimidating doing it by myself the first time. And I didn't like at first that if you didn't know the balance of how much powder you should have in that area, you could, you know, cause yourself a little bit of pain, and that's okay. It takes a little bit to experiment, but you know, I had to get the formula right on my own. So it is true trial and error, which not all of us are very patient with, but I will say that over time, I got the hang of it. I will say that that's my only drawback. And I will say too, if you overheat it, because I did that and I didn't put it on my skin. You do have to wait a little while for it to congeal back to its normal shape and also normal texture. You do have to wait for it to congeal back to its normal flow. So you want to make sure that you're careful about that. No more than the 10 to 15 seconds. Keep it simple. It looks like it won't warm as quickly because of the thickness, but oh honey, it will. And I saw some of your horror stories about how you burned off top layers of skin by overwarming. I did not want to do that. And yes, of course, I would love to get this professionally done in the future, but we working with what we working with. Not only that, I would love to create some, but this kit was so inexpensive and it had good ingredients, so I went with the flow and I'm happy I did. But otherwise, nothing more to dislike other than the learning curve. So the aftercare, I told you all about the pre-care in that video, so make sure you watch that video to see how I prepared my body and prepared my underarms for sugar waxing. But when it comes to the aftercare, you do have to make sure that you're paying attention to your armpits. One thing that I did read and found out about was that within or right after 24 hours, you should exfoliate that area well. And I did. I did it in the shower. I didn't do it too harshly, but I made sure that I used my vitamin C scrub by Tree Hut, which is amazing. I use it all over my body except for my face anyway. So I ended up using that. And I found that that did well. That's supposed to help you to avoid some ingrowns, discolorations, things of that sort, and keep that skin renewed in that area. So my aftercare, really the extent of it was making sure the next day I did not work out super hard. I didn't put on any deodorant under that area. So again, didn't work out super hard. And then also I had to make sure that I exfoliated after 24 hours. So I will say that for me, exfoliation has been important. Still doing that about 2 to 3 days a week. And I'm trying to make sure that I concentrate on that area, not too rough, but make sure that I'm keeping it from getting laid with ingrown hair. But I will say that aftercare is necessary, taking care of it. I do feel like the powder barrier during the process kept my skin pretty much protected afterwards. So I didn't have any irritation. I didn't have the bumps. I didn't have anything like that. So I'm very happy with that part. I've been using my regular deodorant, mainly Native. So that's been just fine. Some of you all told me to come back and honestly talk about whether or not I would do this again. And the answer is a resounding yes. I mean, I know it's only a few minutes in the shower shaving, but I have not had to think about that. I can just put on a shirt and walk out the house, and I feel like the hair that's there now is not that noticeable. I work out a lot and I work out in shirts more like these. So I'm happy that I'm not worried about there being stubble or anything like that. Maybe after we out of all of this stuff, I can do it at the shop, but for now, I'm enjoying it at home. It was therapeutic, it was fun, it felt good, and it felt nice to be able to do that for myself. And the very last thing is, was it worth it? And what I can say for you all is, absolutely. The price versus the product, I paid $20-something for that and I didn't use much of it at all. So I'm gonna be digging in that jar for a very long time. And I feel like for the amount of product and the fact that it worked and the fact that it was a kit, that was even better for me. Now, I will say there are lots of people out there that make their own sugar wax. And one of them I see is Between. I think that's how you say it. And she makes making sugar look easy, sugar wax look easy. Now, I don't really have the patience for it. I have the time sometimes, but at the same time, if I can get a nice kit that gives me the good results and it's proven to do that, I'm gonna do so. Now, if you get the kit, you wanna make sure that you test it on an area of your skin to make sure that it doesn't adversely affect your skin. But for me, it did not bother me, and I have typically pretty sensitive skin. So just be aware of what you're putting on your skin no matter what. But I think the bang for the buck was there, and it was worth every penny and the convenience. Just that one container, those applicators, and I was good to go. So y'all, I hope this video has been beneficial for you and all of that makes sense. Again, do your research, know a bit more about the processes and the things that you're doing with your body. It's not going to work the same for everybody, and I get that. So just make sure that you're patient with yourself, figure things out, test things out, but be careful while doing so. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. I want to thank you all so much for watching today. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll signing out. Peace. Check the links in the description for my free new Dr. Nina's Mentorship Facebook group, which is a group of like-minded individuals looking to progress, grow, and support one another along the way. The Now That's Life podcast is about to go into season 2, so I suggest you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on all your major podcasting platforms. All descriptions and links for that and my free supernatural video course are found below. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.